start in Shavasana today. So we'll start laying down with your head facing the top of the mat. Okay, and just take a moment to arrive in the practice, arrive in the space. Maybe taking a cleansing breath in through the nose. And exhale, sigh out through the mouth. And again, deep inhale, long exhale. And then just allow your breath to come to a natural rhythm. And maybe just scan through the body and just notice anywhere that maybe you're feeling a little stiff or tight from the evening's rest, or maybe some tension that you might be holding on to from your week. In this class today, just setting that intention to maybe use this as a reset to let go of the week, or set an intention for the rest of your day. This is our last practice of our 7th limb of yoga, Dhyana, and we have been focusing on resting in awareness, not forcing or trying to push ourselves into being aware of something, and just really thinking about incorporating Dharana, which is just finding like an anchoring point, something to focus on. So we're bringing these two practices together this month, and if there is a moment where your awareness drifts, which is perfectly normal, just coming back to something as an anchor, an intention, noticing the sensations in the body, or simply noticing your breath. So no judgment if your mind starts to kind of wander to what's happening later, or anything that happened earlier this morning or earlier this week, or anything else. Just gently invite it back into the present moment. Invite your awareness to come back into this space. So if there is an intention that you would like to set for your practice or for your day, maybe one word that you would like to embody or embrace or call in, you can use that as an anchor. Or you can just come back to noticing the breath or the body and how the practice is arriving for you today. So I'll give you a moment to reflect on that and to just set that intention or anchor for your practice. And we'll walk the feet in towards the hips. Bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall open for Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly pose. And you can use your blocks here and place them underneath the knees or towards the hips, under the thighs, for a little more support. Totally optional. You can also just let the knees be drawn towards the earth by gravity. You can have the feet closer in towards the body or further out. So take a moment to just kind of play around with that and see where you begin to feel a sensation, where maybe on the inner thighs you're feeling a little bit of a stretch, or in the lower back or hips. And just find a place that feels comfortable to you. In yin, we are not wanting to push ourselves or chase sensation. We want to find a point excuse me, a point of sensation where we just begin to feel it and then allow ourselves to soften into that space. So wherever that is for you in this shape, finding that. And then you can bring your hands to rest on the rib cage or on the belly. And just begin to notice the movement of your breath. You can begin to bring shape to your breath if that makes it easier for you to notice it. If you want to count your inhale and exhale and keep them at an even count, if you want to bring a little noise by constricting the back of the throat to your breath, breathing in and out through the nose. And see if you can find stillness. In our principles of yin, the structure of our practice is to find our edge. So find that point of sensation, of stretch that we are feeling in the body, in the muscles and tissues. To hold that posture for 2 to 5 minutes. And to be still, allowing the deeper layers of our fascia and our tissues to release. So see if you can resolve to just be still this next few moments.
You can remove your blocks to the side. And then use your hands to draw the knees in towards each other, making slow movements. And then we'll bring the feet back hip distance apart. We'll move into a supine twist. Press the soles of the feet into the mat, lift the hips, and shift them over to the right. Let the knees fall to the left and your arms to come out to a T. Gaze towards the right fingertips. It may be helpful to place a block between the knees here to keep the hips lined up and to relieve some pressure on the lower back. You could also put a block under the bottom leg to lessen the degree of that twist. So if you have some lower back sensitivity, feel free to use props to support you so that you aren't feeling any pinching or pain in any of these postures. Try to have your shoulders both in contact with the mat. And the knees can be in closer towards the heart space. They can be further out, down towards the bottom of the mat. So take some time to find what works for you today. And then settle into that still place. Allow your awareness to drift into the belly, noticing the difference in how it feels to breathe with a little bit of constriction here. These twists are really great for digestion and for helping to release energy from the body that we might be holding on to. So if there is anything that you're holding on to from your week, just think about energetically kind of wringing the body out like a sponge here. So each exhale, just thinking of sending that energy out of the body. On your inhale, slowly unwind through center, drawing the knees back through center, releasing your blocks to the side, but still within reach. Bring the hips and shoulders back into alignment with each other. And then hug the knees in towards the chest and just take a little rock side to side here, releasing the lower back, rocking out the hips. And then we'll drop the feet back down and move right into the other side. So feet pressed into the mat, lift the hips, shift them over to the left, and let the knees fall to the right. Moving the hips over to the side of the mat helps us to find a little space to stack the hips on top of each other. And then again, using any blocks that you need between the knees or under the legs, finding what feels comfortable on this side. Notice it's probably a little different. For me, I don't need a block under my legs on this side, but I do on the other. That's just how my body is. And I always encourage us to just meet our bodies where they are today. It's no reward in trying to push ourselves into a place that isn't going to support us. Try to have the left shoulder melt down towards the mat, so there's a little bit of evenness here as you bring the arms out to a T. Bring the gaze over the left fingertips. And take a few breaths to settle into the moment. I'd like to invite you to focus on that awareness of the breath in the belly just for a moment. Notice the movement of the navel towards the spine. And then see if you can drift your awareness moving from this one focal point to an awareness of the entire body as a whole. And then moving back to the navel, back to the belly, and then back to the entire body. So just shifting our awareness from the entire body back to one point and back again. And then land on awareness of the entire body resting in the shape. See if you can carry the sense of awareness of the entire body, even as we transition back through center. So slowly unwinding in your next inhale, bringing the knees back through center, removing props, shifting the hips and shoulders back into alignment. Bringing the feet out towards the edges of the mat, let the knees fall in towards each other. Our constructive rest pose. We'll just spend about 1 minute here. Come back to the breath, maybe placing the hands on the belly or on the rib cage. We'll walk the feet back in hip distance apart and find a supported bridge pose. Press the soles of the feet into the mat and take your block on the lowest setting, so the widest surface area. As we lift the hips, we'll place it under the sacrum, so not under the lower back, but just below that. And you can have the knees bent here, or you could bring the legs out long. Just know that if you bring the legs out long, it might be a little more uncomfortable for the lower back. So if it feels pinchy or painful at all, you can walk the feet back in and bend the knees. This is a gentle inversion, just a great way to signal to our bodies that it's okay to relax, to calm and harmonize our nervous system. And maybe you can tuck the chin in towards the chest a little, creating some length in the back of the neck. And the arms can rest at your sides or comfortably on the belly or rib cage. Each exhale, see if you can just allow the hips to soften, to be supported here. Feel the weight of your shoulders melting into the mat, melting into the earth. Releasing tension here as well. If there's any tightness or stress that you're holding on to, just imagine letting it go each exhale. If you have your legs extended out, you can walk the feet back in towards the hips. Press the feet into the mat, lifting the hips gently, removing your block and lowering them back down. Hug the knees in one more time, just taking a little rock here. Option to take happy baby, reaching through and grabbing on wherever you can, the ankles, shins, back of the thighs, sides of the feet. Bringing the feet towards the ceiling, knees towards the earth. Just taking a little rock here. And releasing that grip. We'll come into tabletop pose. So rolling onto one side, slowly come up. You can bring your blanket under your knees if you have a hard floor and you have some knee sensitivity, that can be helpful. And bringing the knees stacked under the hips, wrists under the shoulders, palms and tops of the feet pressed into the mat. On your inhale, we'll find cat-cows, so dropping the belly. Tailbone rises, gaze comes forward. On the exhale, round the spine, crown of the head drops down, press the earth away, tailbone tucks. Inhale, finding cow, dropping the belly, tailbone rises. Shoulder blades gently draw towards each other, gaze forward. Exhale, find cat, press the earth away. Round through the back of the heart center, tuck the tailbone, gaze towards your navel. And just move through these at your own pace for the next minute or so, just connecting your breath with your movement. You can rock into the hips a little more or take any other gentle movements from the space that feel nourishing right now. Anything your body is asking for. Come back to a neutral tabletop position. We'll bring the big toes to touch and knees towards the edges of the mat. Send the hips back towards the heels, sinking down. And then we'll walk the hands out towards the top of the mat and bring the heart center and forehead towards the earth. You can cross your arms here to rest your forehead or bring a block to support the forehead. If
you're feeling a lot of sensation that's tight in the inner thighs or in the lower back, you can also bring the knees closer in towards each other, and that'll help support the lower back. It's okay if your forehead doesn't come to the mat or your hips don't come to your heels. That's perfectly normal. Think about opening the heart towards the earth here, breathing deep into the belly. Bring your gaze towards your fingertips and slowly walk the hands back, coming all the way up and just pausing at the top here. Take a moment for that energy to settle, for the blood to rush back down. And then we'll come to a seated position. Bringing the right leg out to about a 45-degree angle. Bring the left foot to the inside of the right leg. You can bring a block under the left knee if you'd like. We'll find a half dragonfly pose. So our right toes are flexed towards the body. And then we're going to, on the inhale, lengthen the spine and turn towards the right leg, squaring our shoulders towards the right leg. Keep the spine straight, walk the hands out just until you feel that stretch in the back of the leg. Then allow your head to hang heavy towards your knee. And it may not be very far. That's okay. As you
Settle in, and after you spend some time here, your body will relax a little more, and you may find that you could go a little deeper. You don't have to. We're not chasing sensations in yin. So if it feels good to stay here, stay here. If you find that you feel you need a little more of a stretch, you can walk the hands out a little more after a moment or so. Try to keep the left hip rooted into the mat so we're not lifting up and over. So hips sinking down, and just breathing through the back side of the heart center, through the shoulders as they round forward. On your inhale, walk the hands back, nice and slow, coming all the way up. We'll transition to the other side, extending the left leg out. Bring the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left leg, maybe placing a block under the right knee. Make sure your sit bones are rooted down. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, turning towards the left leg. Walk the hands out till you find that point of your edge and then round forward.
On your inhale, walk the hands back, bringing the head up last. Coming back through center, we'll just find easy seated pose, Sukhasana. Sitting up nice and tall. You can also just find a comfortable seated position. Sit bones, contact with the earth. Inhaling, crown reaching up. Let the shoulders drop down away from the ears. Hands can rest on your knees. Since this is a morning practice, we'll end with just a moment of meditation here or reflection. Instead of ending in Shavasana, ending upright, ready to start our day. So maybe coming back to one word or intention that you would like to set for your day as we close our practice. Maybe visualizing the best case scenario for your day, watching it unfold in the mind. We'll bring the hands to heart center, either in prayer pose, Anjali Mudra, or you can bring one hand over the other in the heart space, whatever's most aligned with you today. And taking a gentle bow in gratitude for this time and space to pause before we start our day, to nourish our bodies with breath and movement and stillness. I'm grateful for bodies that can move through this practice in any way whatsoever. I'm grateful for people to practice with and beautiful spaces to practice in. May you walk in loving kindness. May you share the gift that is you. And may you remember you are love. Thank you. Thank you.